So I am, for my sins, I've entered a Sportive. Well, I've not entered it, I'm doing it. I'm in a luxurious position where I can just turn up. Sportive in Andorra, so there's not a single piece of flat road. But it's a Sportive, so it's not a race, so you just leisurely ride round, right? That's what I'm told, it's not a race. Sportives are not races, it's a participation event. So it's 150k, goes up a god-awful amount of climbs. I need to map it so I know exactly how much climbing we're in for. But I know all the climbs, and it says the gold standard ride is 4.5 hours, which is like 30k an hour. I'm aiming for a sub 6. Sub 6 hours is my goal. But yeah, just getting my bike ready, and I'm treading a real fine line with being dangerously unsponsor correct, but Israel will understand. Putting some new chain rings on, asymmetric, jumping back on that. I'm putting on a 52-36 so that I've got something small enough to get up the hills, and then I've got some big dogs for the TT bike, and there is a new TT bike coming, to my house. And I also have another trick up my sleeve for this Sportive that is not a race, which I'll show you soon. So, you might have seen these on the rest day of the tour, but Black Ink had come out with some new wheels. What Gran Fondos or Sportives are not is UCI regulated, so I can use these. And I'm going to use these, and I'm going to tell you how they go, because they're pretty cool. And they are marginally lighter than the 60s. Marginally. But they will be, they're more error. Definitely more error. I know that because I just blew on it, and obviously I am a wind tunnel. So it's the night before the Sportive, and then doing exactly what one should do the evening before an event. I've made it the third day of a 3-day training block, and I'm also going to a concert tonight. Not drinking, but going to a concert. However, I've cleaned my bike, so that's drawn one up to equal. I'm going to quickly run you through it. Firstly, what a damn good looking bike that is. I don't get excited about bikes very often, but this is a good bike. And it has upgraded wheels. So, I'll quickly run you through what I got. Gone back onto isometrics, we'll talk about that in another video. I need to put some pedals on. That would be a real problem for tomorrow. We're running a 4-ride power meter. Not got the ceramic speed large pulley wheels because this is a training bike and we don't get that luxury. But full Durace. On the back is an 1130 block, which may or may not be enough. But on the front I've got a 52 big ring and a 36 little ring Solo Italia Boost SP. Lots of numbers saddle, and 160 rotor on the front, 140 rotor on the back on these. Small error tomorrow in that even though I've spent time with Hammerhead, I've not got the updated mount, so kind of riding blind tomorrow. I will have my head unit in my pocket. It's 150k. I think there's about 4,500 meters of climbing, which is a lot, and a gold standard ride is 4.5 hours. And I was like, nah, that's absurd. So I've done some digging, and basically what it is, there's timed sections on each of the climb, and your gold standard ride is your accumulated time spent on the climbs. And I guess because it's open to traffic, that's also to stop people railing the downhills too hard to get the time back. And it means we can stop at the feed zones for however long, which is great. This really brightened up my day. I mean, the fact that I have to be a 45-minute ride away from here at 7:40 has not brightened my day up at all. But then there's a rest day on Monday, so we're all good. We'll sleep then, except for the fact that I have a small child. Really running myself into the ground. Anyway, I'm going to go make myself look beautiful, and then I'm going to get up early and go do a bike ride. And then I'm going to come back and watch the tour. By the time you see this, you'll know if Cavendish broke Eddie Merckx's record or just equalled it, so all good. Oh, look who's ready. Are you going to get dressed? We've got to go soon.
Do you want me to give permissions?
Sorry?
Do you have
So it's just gone 11. We've been back for sort of half an hour. So really a tame night. I've been putting it off, but I need to set my alarm for tomorrow, and it's not gonna be good. Don't like early starts, even with Juliet. Chanel does the majority of the early starts. Yeah. Good morning. It's 6:15, and I don't want to be awake yet. So Sportive is the Volta Hours Ports to Andorra, which is part of the Grand Fondo World Tour, which is not something I know anything about at all. Yeah, like we said, the gold medal, which obviously I won, is 4.5 hours on the climbing, which basically means you need to be climbing at 1,000 van or more, which should be okay actually. Should be alright. Should be alright. Okay, just like that, we're just about ready to roll out the door. You can leave clothing and stuff at the start, so I'm wrapping up to ride down the hill, leg warmers, undervest on with no arm warmers on over the top. That's a bit of a no-no in the cycling world, I think. But signs that I'm not taking this seriously is, concert last night and limited sleep. Signs that I am taking this seriously: aero socks, clean shaven legs for the first time in what feels like forever. So we'll see how seriously this goes. Oh, it's not quite as cold as I was expecting actually. Yeah, we're gonna be alright today. We're gonna be alright. In terms of nutrition, I've got 1.5 litres of water on board with Morton in, so that's 240 grams, which should be good for like 3 hours, I guess. Then a bunch of gels. Not quite enough to see me all the way through, but I hear there's food stations, which means there should be cake, which will see me through. Cake. Main man Doug.
Absolute black, 34 oval.
Oh, inside?
Yeah.
Perfect. And this chopper. The full pro kit wankers over here.
2.15. 2.15.
Set the pace up there. It's flying.
Yeah.
Right, this is the man to watch just here. I'm halfway up the first climb. All good. I'm front group on a climb, which is a real novel experience. Not sure how long it's going to continue though. The first climb's done. Chris won it, and I was like top 10. Something SDQR.
I was moving you up in the descent.
Oh yeah. So we're trying to crack them for everyone else, but not stopping at the feed stops. Just going. I reckon that should get us first over the line, even if we're not fastest up the climb. Third climb of the day, probably the steepest one. Second on the road, but some guys went faster on the climbs. Chris has disappeared. We're now on these markings were out doing when the tour came through here last Sunday. This is a rude word of a climb. Now third on the road. Fellow that overtook me on the last one came past me again on this one. There's not much I can do about that, and I need to stop at the top and get water, so we hard pushed to get that placing back. Once we get to the top of this, 2 more. One's very long and the other one is very steep and quite long. Oh, I've had about 300 grams of carbs
2.5 hours. That's ahead of schedule on the nutrition, which is good. Agua. Gracias. Muchas gracias.
Venga, ¿ya está? ¿Quieres algo?
La cámara. La cámara.
Oh. 2 more climbs, finished that. I've got gel all over my suit, so I look like a bloody amateur. But still 3rd on the road. That's good. We're in a non-cycling tunnel. Non-cycling, a tunnel where bike riders are not allowed. And they've closed it for today to cars. So only cyclists are allowed through here, which is pretty awesome. There's a whole 2 lanes of tunnel. All to myself at the moment. I think this tunnel is where they run the Andorra National Time Trial Championships, just up and down here. Mainly because it's the flattest road in Andorra. It's the only flat road in Andorra. Final 2 climbs. Probably the hardest. I mean, especially seeing that they're lumped on the end. This one's 12k, 7%, and the last one's like Galena, which is a climb that I think the Andorran pros just avoid. It's in 12k, 8%, but there's some ramps. Nice thing about this one is near the top, there's a couple of little downhills, get your breath back. I think the pace Chris Hamilton set on the first climb seems to have taken its toll on everyone, me included. Still 3rd on the road, and no sign of anyone behind me, provided I don't fully explode on the Galena. Should be set for 3rd across the line. Final climb, Galena, 12k, 8%. This has gone a lot faster than I was expecting. Yeah, I'm enjoying it, really enjoying it. Yeah. Pretty much just after I said I'm enjoying this, I started to not enjoy it. Heart rate's up, power's down, taking the outside line through corners just to flatten them off. I can't see anyone, so I guess there's a lot of people in the same boat. But yeah, 1.5 to the top and we're done. This is the top at last. Final climb done. Drop down, a little drag up to the finish. A few timing trips.
we're done. I'm going to jump in the shower. I did enjoy that, despite the last climb and overheating. It was an average of 35 degrees on that last climb. So no wonder I struggled. Talking to the fellow that finished second, he struggled as well. Probably struggled at half a kilometre an hour faster than I did, but I think everyone was struggling. Yeah, it was good. It was a hard day. Harder than it would have been if I'd just gone training, absolutely, like, for sure. But yeah, Sportive, I did the London to Brighton before I sort of got into road cycling. And that was kind of my first experience of road cycling. I was with my dad and his mountain bike mates, and we were on mountain bikes but with slick tyres on. And, excuse me, a guy that rode for Maurice Burton's team, the name escapes me, and I feel bad for that, but I distinctly remember he was like Rastafarian, his dreadlocks like cascading behind. I sat on him for about 10k and then realised I'd got probably a good distance ahead of Dad and decided to slow down and wait. This guy was like, cool man, like, well done. I think because I was this kid on a mountain bike keeping up with him. It was nice, just nice to go back to a Sportive really, and it was a really nice event. It's called the Volta als Ports, which is the tour of the climbs, I think. The real highlight was the tunnel actually, probably the only stretch of flat road, the tunnel where usually there's no cyclist allowed in it, only cars, and this time they flipped it so there was only cyclists allowed through it and no cars. So I was just, because I was on my own, just had this whole tunnel to myself, which was quite surreal. Yeah, just enjoyed being part of an event, and it was a really nice event. I think this year only really was limited to French, Spanish and anyone living in Andorra, but next year I would highly recommend coming over for it if you really want a challenge, because other than that tunnel there is not a single stretch of flat road and the climbs get progressively harder. Yeah, anyway, there's enough rambling. Bike was superb. Wheels, actually, sorry, let's talk about the wheels. They were great. They are Sportive wheels, and at the end of the day Chris Hamilton would have won, but I had the least amount of spokes out of everyone in the Sportive today, so who's the real winner? But no, like I said, we'll do a video on them. They are very good wheels, and for reasons that I will explain in another video, and I was very happy to be riding them today. When I put them on my bike, I enjoyed riding my bike a bit more, because they do feel different to spoked wheels, and like I said, I will go into that on another video. Thanks for watching, hope you enjoyed it, and yeah, see you soon.